We are live. We are live. We are live. It's Automotive Fridays here at the Cardone Group in slightly overcast, but otherwise sunny Central Florida. Hope everybody is 10xing your weekend already. We are going to talk about five simple things today, right now. 5 things. That's it. 5 things that will help you make sure you have a successful weekend. And then 3 things that you can do in negotiations that'll help you ensure that you sell for volume and profit. Now, as I'm letting us do that, I am Derek Simons. I am with the Cardone Group. We are your automotive specialists, and this is Automotive Fridays. And today, I want to start off by talking about the weekends business. That's right. Weekends are not successful just because they're weekends. Weekends are successful because we put the effort into it, and we have campaigns going. We have appointments going. We've got customers showing up. We are geared up and ready to go. We've got full support staff on premises. We've got salespeople, managers. We've got cleanup people. So everything's geared towards that weekend's business. So what do we need to do as individual salespeople to be successful? We need to have appointments. That's the first thing you got to do. So make sure that as a salesperson, you're getting those appointments, you're getting the manager's confirmations, and you're doing it. So now let's talk about big picture. 5 things, right? 5 things. Every single customer that you work with this weekend, let's talk about them. They're pretty simple. We've got some complex camera work going on right now. We're getting things rearranged here a little bit. So if you're watching on Facebook, just hang tight. The earthquake will stop in a minute. So 5 things that we need to do. Number 1 thing, let's make sure that we engage every customer using information overload. How do we do that? Right? What do? When we meet a customer, what do we tell them? We tell them what we're going to deliver for them, how we're going to provide them a level of service that nobody else is, and specifically what that means. So we can say things like, hey, welcome to the dealership. My name's Derek. What vehicle are you interested in? They say, I'm looking for a new 2018 Watson Mobile. Man, that is a fantastic choice. We got lots of 2018 Watson Mobiles in stock. In fact, my job's simple. I'll help you find the vehicle that's right for you and your family. Then when you're ready, we're going to get you the price of that car. We'll get you estimates on down payment, monthly payment. We even get you figures on the car you're driving today. How does that sound, Mr. Customer? Right? You just became an information provider. Remember, information's already out there. I hate to break it to you guys, but the customer's already done 9 hours of research. They've been online already. They've already checked it all out, right? They already done their research. So make sure that you're an information provider, because that's the only way that you can stay engaged and you can have them willing to go forward with you. So offer them information, right? Overload it. Tell them you're going to be that information provider right up front. Okay. Second thing that we need to do, whenever the customer has a vehicle that we are trying to take in on trade, we need to turn that buyer into the seller of their present vehicle. Think about that for a second. How easy is it to get somebody that's selling something talking, right? That's one of the big complaints that we have about salespeople is we don't stop talking. So think about that. Let's take that buyer. And let's turn him into a seller. Well, how do we do that? We ask them about their car, right? Remember, in that information overload, what did I offer them? I said, hey, before you leave, I'll get you a price, get you estimates on down payment, monthly payment. Heck, I'll even get you figures on the car you're driving today, right? Give them a lot of information that we're going to give them before they leave. How do we do that? Well, we write them up, and then we ask them to buy. But the last thing that I offered that customer was figures on the car they're driving today. So an easy transition. Hey, Mr. Customer, let's go ahead and start with your vehicle. What I'll do is I'll gather the information off of it. We'll drop it off with a member of our management team. We'll get that professionally appraised while we're out looking at the new 2018 Watson Mobiles. I'll save you 30, 45 minutes worth of time. It's pretty simple. It's pretty easy. It's certainly the easiest way we know of for us to keep the customer engaged. So now as we're walking around that car, we start asking them questions. Hey, what'd you like most about the car? What'd you like least? What's your next vehicle need to do? This one doesn't. What's changed most in your life since you last purchased, right? So as we gather that information and we're talking about the customer's car, it puts us in a great position to get them telling us what they need, right? Let's use that information. Let's build that buyer profile around their present vehicle at a level that you normally wouldn't be doing, okay? It's simple and it's guaranteed to get you deeper into the process every single time. So we're going to offer information. We're going to turn the buyer into the seller. We're going to offer alternatives to set up the negotiations. So now we're going to go out and take a look at those Watson Mobiles. Whenever we work with organizations, we want to stay focused on what's important to them, right? A lot of times when we go into stores, they have a new unit volume that they have to do, right? We got to do 150 new units this month. Well, we don't want to take away from that, but anytime it's possible, we want to use alternatives because that allows us to control the transaction better. So what do I mean by an alternative? Hey, Mr. Customer, would you consider a pre-owned Watson Mobile? Certified pre-owned, it'll save you $3,000, $4,000, maybe as much as $60 to $80 a month. No, you want a new one? Excellent choice. Let's go look at the new one. Oh, you would consider that? Let's go take a look at the certified pre-owned. So we can offer alternatives that help set up the negotiations. They eliminate the buyer's need to shop, puts us in a better position all the way through. So it's very easy. It's one of the techniques, and I said it before when we talked about alternatives specifically about 6 weeks ago. I said, listen, alternatives are the only technique I know that works whether the customer says yes or whether they say no. If they say yes to the alternative, guess what? That means you go show them that car. If they say no to the alternative, guess what? It means you go show them this car, right? It worked both ways, okay? Alternatives are super powerful. We want to negotiate with the customer's money, not ours. So the last 3 weeks, we've been talking about negotiations. Covered a lot of ground in regards to the negotiations, and there's a lot of stuff that we still haven't talked about. When we look at negotiations, I want you to think about this from a big picture, right, in hierarchy. If we're negotiating and the only thing that we have to negotiate on is our price, well, that doesn't help us, right? It doesn't protect our profit at all. So we want to make sure that we are negotiating on the customer's money. What's their money? Their down payment, their monthly payment, right? So as you're going through the transaction and you're negotiating with them, let's focus on the area that's most important to the customer, right? I don't know what the statistic is this year, but the last year I think I said something around 91 or 92% of the people that purchased a vehicle did some level of financing, whether it was with you, through a lease, or retail, something through their own bank. They were doing financing somewhere. So when you think about that, realize that down payment and monthly payment are an extraordinarily important part of the decision-making process for the vast majority of people. So how do we do that? Well, we make a logical presentation. Last couple of weeks, I've been talking about that worksheet. I've been showing you some options, right? How we can use down payments and graduated monthly payments using $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 down to logically negotiate with the customer. Make sure you're doing that. Make sure that you're actively using that when you're negotiating. Here's a challenge though. You ready? If you start a deal with no money down, guess what happens? You got nowhere to go on the down payment, right? So anytime you make your initial presentation of figures and you show them zero down, you've already put yourself in a bad position in regards to the negotiations. We know for a fact that starting a deal with money down allows you to overcome the money down objection, and it puts you in a better position to be able to close a deal today, okay? Today. Money down helps in all the deals, but being able to negotiate with the money down helps you close it today. Money down is one of the biggest pains for customers. Think about it, right? That monthly payment is due in what, 45 days, right? Their next payment, we're going to pay off their car that they have today. They're going to have a payment due in 45 days, but the money down, they got to part with today. You got to write a check for that. How many customers have you talked to that said, yeah, I really want to put $10,000 down? They're out there, but it's not as many. So when we're working deals, we need to make sure that we're starting from a position of strength, which means you and your managers need to be asking for money down, okay? 15 is we got to close the deal now. This is something I'm passionate about. Man, it drives me insane to hear salespeople that don't ask the customer to buy, right? They come back with a worksheet, but they're not really asking them to buy. They say things like, hey, what do you think? I talked to my boss. He said, we'll take $3,000 off. What do you think? That's not asking somebody to buy it. That's having a conversation, okay? We want to ask them to buy, right? Based on the vehicle you selected, the current market value of your vehicle, we prepared 9 payments at an average APR, 9 leases, 12,000 miles a year. All I need you to do is circle the payment, works best for you and your family. Sign here, and I'll get your car cleaned and ready for immediate delivery. Think about that. Sign here, I'll get your car cleaned and ready for immediate delivery. Biggest challenge that we see is that when we don't ask the customer to buy with strong, committed language, we put ourselves in a position where they can, I want to think about it, I'm not interested in, you start heading down the wrong path. So let's make sure that we go for the close now. So every single time customer has an objection, we need to overcome that objection, and then we need to circle back and ask them to buy again. Doesn't matter what it is, right? Man, I hate that shirt. That shirt is so ugly. If I was to change shirts, could we go ahead and wrap this up right now? If so, give me your initials here, full legal name here. I'll get your car cleaned and ready for immediate delivery. Doesn't matter. Man, I don't care what the objection is. Let's ask the customer to buy. Grant says, lean on the pen, right? When we are in a close, you have to ask them to buy, right? Grant talks about it a lot. When a customer's in mystery, when they don't fully understand what's happening, it's very hard for them to say yes. We need to take that mystery out. The best way to do that fully disclosed negotiations, ask the customer to buy, and let them object to their pain point. That's right. There's going to be something in there that they're uncomfortable with. Remember, when we're negotiating on a fully disclosed worksheet, there's only 5 possible monetary objections: price, trade, money down, monthly payment, or interest rate. That's it. As a sales professional, you should know how to overcome every single one of those objections. You should be able to handle those without having to run back to the desk, right? We don't need to hit the eject button and then haul butt up to the desk, because every time you leave that chair, you lose credibility and profitability with the customer. It's just that simple. We need to be trained, we need to be ninja level ready, and we need to be able to overcome those objections as we go through the process without having to hit the escape button. So I'm going to take the next few minutes and we're going to talk about some rules for negotiations. We got 3 basic rules that we're going to go over. The first thing is overarching. You've heard Grant say this all the time. I think in the 10X rule, he calls it the magic of agreement, but we always agree first. Doesn't matter what the objection is, right? We need to agree. One of the things that's crazy about this is that whatever the objection is that the customer has that they bring up to you after you ask them to buy is most likely going to be the one that's going to allow you to get the close, okay? So if they object to something, it's going to put you in a position to ask them to buy again. We know that if you ask a customer to buy 3 times, logically, guess what? You're either going to get an offer or you're going to get a deal. That's what happens. So we have no problem with that. We want that to happen. We need to work through this, but we also have to have the deal structured properly so that we can. So we make that presentation, circle and sign. I'll get your car clean and ready for immediate delivery. The customer says, well, the price is too high. Okay, that's fine. I'm a trained professional, right? I'm ready. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to agree. Man, if I was in your position, I'd probably feel the exact same way, right? All I'm trying to do is not fight. The price is too high. No, it isn't. I ain't gonna close anything, right? But it's not where we're going, right? The price is too high. Man, I understand. If I was in your position, I'd probably feel the same way. So the first rule is, this is overarching. This is big picture, doesn't matter what it is. It takes 2 people to fight, right? So if I'm agreeing, I'm not fighting, right? Price is too high. Always agree first. No matter what we're doing, that's the first part. We're going to agree. Always agree. Now, we're going to get into the rules for actually handling the objection. Every single objection that I talked about, price, trade, money down, monthly payment, or interest rate, can be handled in this exact same manner. So let's look at how it boils down. First thing that we want to do in negotiations, whenever you're negotiating with somebody and they object, you don't want to give a discount immediately. Okay? The first thing that you need to do is logically overcome the objection with 0 discount. Okay? Again, I've said it a bunch of times. Just because we do that doesn't mean they're going to roll over and go, okay, I'll take it. We have to logically overcome it with 0 discount. So let's look at how we do that. How do we do it? So this is logic with 0 discount. So I'm using price right now. I'm using price. Hey, the customer says, hey man, that price is too high. I'm with you. I understand. If I was in your position, I'd probably feel the same way. Now we're going to go with a close. It's been around for a while, but it's extremely successful. It's called restate, revalidate. It's very simple. All we do is go back and restate what the customer told us previously that's important to them. So think about this, right? Whatever they told you while you were out on the lot, whatever they told you when you were building a buyer profile, are the things that you're going to tell them back. Now, price is too high. You know what, sir? I understand. I get it. If I was in your position, I'd probably feel the same way. Outside, when we were looking at cars, you told me you had to have the white car. You really wanted the gray interior. You wanted the sunroof, the Bluetooth, and you wanted the heated seats. This vehicle has all that equipment and more. And you know what? It'll be worth more when you go to sell it. This is an excellent value. Give me your full legal name here. I'll get your car cleaned and ready for immediate delivery. Now, I'd love it if they said yes. That's not what I expect to happen, right? I expect that they're going to continue to object as far as the price goes, but that's okay because I've asked them to buy once. They objected to the price. I asked them to buy again, but I did it with 0 discount, okay? So logically overcome it with 0 discount. Hey, you wanted the white car, you wanted the gray leather interior, you wanted the sunroof, you wanted the Bluetooth, you wanted the power heated seats. Vehicle's got it all. It's got more than that, and it'll be worth more when you go to sell it. This is an excellent value. Sign here, I'll get your car cleaned and ready for immediate delivery. Restate, revalidate. Simple, easy, clean. Second thing that we need to do is give them a small discount using logic. Logically, with a small discount. I talked about this a couple of weeks back. We have somewhere north of 30 million deals that have been desk inside of ePencil. One of the biggest trends that we followed for the longest period of time is that when we gave a customer a discount, they believed that we gave them 50% of whatever we had. So if you gave the customer $1,000, they think you got $2,000 because you split it with them. For whatever reason, there's a psychological sense that this is what we do when we negotiate. So if you give somebody $1,000 and you don't have another $1,000 to give them, they feel like you're not giving them all the money. They feel like you're holding back on them. So think about that for a second. We're actually putting ourselves in a pickle by giving them too big of a discount in the initial part of the negotiations. It's crazy, but it's true and it's effective. So how do we control that? Well, we need to have some logical ways that we can discount whatever their objection is, whether it's price, trade, whether it's monthly payment, down payments, with small amounts so that we're not giving everything away right out of the gate. So here's an example, right? I used the teacher's credit union, right? Hey, are you with a credit union, right? You say the price is too high. I'm trying to work with you here. We really want to make something happen. Are you with one of the local credit unions? Well, yeah, we're with Fairwinds Teachers Credit Union. All right, fantastic. We actually have a program with Fairwinds. I can get you an additional $200 off the price of the car. I can get you an additional $300 off the price of the car. I can get you $500 off. You need to clarify that amount with your manager before you go into the deal. So when we're talking to our manager and they hand us the figures, we say, hey, if the customer objects to the price and I have to give them a logical small discount, what can I do? And he'll tell you 100, 200, 300, right? Some of the cars that we got, you can't even do $300 discount on because there's not even that much markup in them anymore. It's crazy. But we need to be prepared to logically discount the price, right? Small amount. So, hey, Fairwinds Teachers Credit Union, perfect. And get you an additional $200 discount. I'm going to put that right here, $200, Fairwinds Teachers Credit Union. Sign here. I'll get your car cleaned and ready for immediate delivery. Okay. The goal here is to ask the customer to buy logically, small discount, right? We're not making huge leaps. Okay. So at this point in time, I've asked the customer to buy 3 times. Initial presentation of figures at the original price with no discount, and then with a small discount. So as I go through this, I'm building into the close, okay? There's a couple of paths that this could go at this moment in time. As a professional, I should know what they all are. Customer can say, I already got a better deal. They could say, I saw it out online for less. They could say, I'm not gonna pay that. I wanna pay $19,000. Any of those 3 are easy because they are making you an offer to purchase, right? We're halfway home right now. The one that's a little bit harder is when they're like, no, that's not enough, right? So now I need to keep pushing. I have to get through this objection, right? And so this is the point where I joke about this, but this is where I talk about begging for a deal. Right? My wife needs clothes. My baby needs shoes. What do I got to do? That's not what I'm trying to do, but I want to get to a position where I can ask the customer, hey, what is it about this vehicle that doesn't make it worth the money, right? Because I want to build value continually in the product that I'm selling. What is it about this vehicle that doesn't make it worth the money? Well, it's not that, Derek. I love the car. I'm just not going to pay that much. All right, look, you're here. You said I was the right person. We're the right dealership. This is the right vehicle. I don't want money to stand in the way. What do we need to do to put this deal together, right? So I'm going to get to that point eventually. What we have found is that the vast majority of times, logically overcoming with no discount, logically giving a small discount, will produce an offer from the customer. Vast majority of times that's what happens, because I've asked them to buy 3 times. They'll either say yes, or they'll say, look, I'll pay you 19 grand. They'll throw an offer out. If they don't, I need to go to the next part, which I'm calling beg for a deal right now. I want to say to them, hey, what is it about the car that doesn't make it worth the money? It's not the car, Derek. I love the car. I'm just not willing to pay that. Okay, look, you're here. I want to do business with you. I know this car's right for you and your family. You told me I'm the right person. You said this is the right dealership. What do we need to do to put this thing together? Let's figure out how to do this. It's just money, right? Let's figure out how to do this, right? And we ask them to get deeper into the process. So think about this from where we're at, right? Ask them to buy. They object to the price. Always agree first. Man, I understand if I was in your position, feel the same way. I'm with you. Outside, you told me you wanted the white car, gray leather interior, Bluetooth. You wanted the power heated seats. Car's got all that. You know what? It's got more equipment too. It'll be worth more when you go to sell it because of those features. It's a great deal. Give me your full legal name here. Can't do that. Logically give them a small discount. Hey, Mr. Customer, are you planning on servicing your vehicle here with us? Well, what do you mean? Why are you asking? Well, in our service department, if I don't sell you a new car, we have to go out and advertise for customers. And it usually costs us $200 to $300 per customer that we conquest in service advertising just to get somebody to come in for an oil change. It's not good business sense, but you're here. If you're willing to do your oil changes, do your service business here, we won't have to advertise for you. You're buying a car. I can go ahead and get you a $200 service credit. Well, why not $300? Well, let me get you a $300 service credit. Give me your initials here, full legal name here. I'll get your car cleaned and ready for immediate delivery. Okay. I have salespeople say to me, well, what if they say no? I actually want them to say no, because when they say no, it's even better. No, you're not going to service your vehicle with us? Hey, I totally understand. That's definitely your right. Make sure that you keep good records, though, for your warranty situation. The reason why I ask is because we found that over the life cycle of a vehicle, we tend to spend $200 to $300 in goodwill on a customer that comes into our service drive. Since you're not going to be servicing with us, I can go ahead and give you that $200 in goodwill right now. Give me your initials here, $200 additional discount for not servicing, full legal name here at the bottom, get your car cleaned and ready for immediate delivery. I can work with both sides of that, okay? The vast majority of people are going to say, yes, I'm going to service the car here. They really are. So when they do that, it puts you in a logical situation. Look, Derek, that's really, I don't think that's a good enough deal. Man, I understand, Mr. Customer. You're here. You want to buy a car. It's just the monies. Let's figure this out. You told me we were the right dealership, that I was the right salesperson. You love the car. What is it about the car that doesn't make it worth the money to you? What do I need to do to get this deal finalized, right? So we're able to take them through this logical progression that puts us in control of the negotiations. So back up real quick, because I went a little longer than normal today, but that's okay because I'm passionate about this. We've got 5 steps that we can do right now to make our weekend's business better. Before we even get the customer here, let's make sure we get our appointment scheduled. First thing that we want to do, let's offer information to every customer. Overload them. Be the information provider. Number 2, we want to turn that buyer into a seller. Remember, build your buyer profile around the customer's present vehicle. They'll tell you everything that you need to know right there. It's like a crime scene, man. All the DNA from that crime scene, that last purchase is right there. It's going to help you with this next one. We want to offer alternatives to set up all the negotiations. It's pretty simple. Use those to consistently get deeper and to control what happens in the negotiations. Negotiate with the customer's money, not yours. That means down payment and monthly payment need to be the first 2 things that we're negotiating with. Okay, how do we do that? Well, we don't do it by doing 0 down on the first worksheet. Make sure you're starting your deal with money down. We need to close the deal now. Don't go back and say, how's this look? How's this sound? What do you think? Go back and say, need your full legal name here. Let's get your car cleaned and ready for immediate delivery. You do those 5 steps, you're going to have a great weekend. Now, remember, always agree first. Doesn't matter. Always, always, always agree first. Logically negotiate, logically overcome any objection with no discount, logically handle it with a small discount, and then beg for the deal. Let's make sure that we make this weekend a successful weekend. I'll be back next Friday to help you 10X your weekend's business. This is 10X Automotive Fridays from sunny Central Florida. I'm Derek with the Cardone Group. Check out CardoneInstitute.com or 10xyourprofits.com. Either one of those websites. Got some free stuff on there for both of them. And hey, throw us your feedback, leave us some information. Thank you, and I'll see you next Friday.